Happy Monday. This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner. With us today, Andrea Tantaros, Jedediah Bila, host of the brand new show Kennedy on our sister network, Fox Business, Kennedy herself. Today's hashtag.
Glad to be here again.
I'm glad you're back. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about. Well, minutes ago, you may have seen it here on Fox News, the president took the wraps off a budget he's sending to Congress today. It's big. The will. Andrea, dead on arrival with the Republican Party is also what I'm hearing today right after the speech. Your thoughts?
Completely. This is going nowhere, but this is the president coming out, at least taking the opportunity to say what he's for. And Harris, we've had, as Paul Ryan points out, we've had high taxes. We tried to do the whole recovery summer thing with all that massive infrastructure spending. Remember the shovel-ready jobs that President Obama came out and said, oh, they weren't so shovel-ready. And what did you hear from Biden last week? That the last 6 years have been really hard on the middle class. So there's so much cognitive dissonance between what Biden is saying and then President Obama, who stood at the State of the Union and said the economy is really, really doing well. I also will say this. We've had record revenues, Harris, tax revenues, because taxes have been so high. It's the spending that's the problem. Yeah. They're not spending it wisely.
Well, and look at this now long list, Jedediah. Robin Hood approach, some of the things I'm reading today.
Have a big job to do. They have to come out now and present why their plan that doesn't increase taxes but increases opportunity for all, hopefully with specifics, is the right.
We have one. We have a sitting general here with us on the couch. Sequestration is part of this proposal, or easing back, if you will, some of the tight budgetary. Drill down and see exactly what the president has in mind. We hope to read this before they pass it, I guess would be the plan, right? Kennedy, you know, I'm curious. Prices right now at the pump. Yeah. Oil workers going on strike. Now,
to pay their union dues. So I think they are losing their.
There we go.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait for more reaction because I think Republicans are pretty fired up about what the president put forward.
Well, and what the general was saying with sequestration, that rolls into the fight that we're
75% increase in mass transit. You know, those are sectors that could easily be privatized.
Eventually, they dissipate. So this takes longer, but it's the right thing to do, or it's the right way to do things, end quote. General, do you think that we have a strategy to defeat ISIS?
Well, we have and Assad is pounding that ground force every single day with air power, and we're doing nothing to stop that. And they know that that makes no sense. We're killing them faster than we can train them.
But isn't that part of the reason for that, though, is because it took us so long to get there to support?
Came in to help them. This was Hezbollah. This is Quds Force on the ground. This is airplanes lasting every day. It shifted to Assad. The Free Syrian Army asked for our help. In 2011, we said no.
Remember.
In 2012, Clinton, Petraeus, Dempsey, and Panetta go to the president and say, we do have to help the Free Syrian Army. Yeah. This is a year.
Islamists. That was interesting to hear from a general. I wonder why the president doesn't.
It'd be great to hear from the president. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And you know what, General Keane, we talked about this. We'll talk about it during overtime today. But last time you were here, you talked about the tension between the Department of Defense and the administration. It was really fascinating, your insight. We're going to get that from you again on Overtime for an update. So you can always tune into Overtime, of course, right here on Outnumbered. Growing concerns about the spread of a disease that's entirely preventable. There is a lot of controversy, especially with those vaccinations when it comes to newborn babies, and not just about measles. I know, personally, I had a brother who was autistic, and there is a belief among many that it's not the actual vaccinations that cause autism, it's the proximity of the vaccinations, that their teeny tiny little immune systems can't handle those vaccinations so soon after the other. So I am sensitive to every parent's concern. I haven't walked in their shoes. I really agree with what Harris said. I do think it's a public health issue, and I am sensitive, though, to also the people maybe for religious reasons or other reasons who have these beliefs, and I wouldn't want to trample on them. So I wish it could be more black and white on this one, but I think it's complex, and I do think Christie is doing an excellent job trying to circle that square.
No, I think it's really tough, but
Okay, first to the Republicans, Jedediah. Yeah. Scott Walker. He is somebody.
This might be his to take.
Over the weekend, I saw online there was an article asking if the fact that Scott Walker doesn't have a college degree would hurt him. What do you think, Harris?
You know,
What do you think about Walker? I know you like Rand Paul a
Yeah.
lot. He's got the libertarian side to him. What do you think about that?
There's a couple of
Because ISIS and radical Islam is a huge front burner issue. People are considering it their #1 priority, as much as the economy, which we haven't seen in 5 years. Do any of the candidates that are on that screen, do any of them seem to be articulating the right strategy, or that you look at and you say, you know what, maybe they don't have military experience, but they're talking smart?
and lots of plastic surgery. What? No.
Physical appearance is probably.
You can't fix everything on the outside because that's not the problem. The problem is what's in
I
here.
blame
Preach it,
dudes.
JB, preach it. But coming from the Vatican, this is going to have a different amount of.
I think it depends on who takes it and internalizes it and says, yeah, I agree with them or I don't agree with them. I mean, this is a church that's been weighing in on a lot of different issues. Men should be listening to their women and not be so macho. That was a couple weeks ago. But I do get the church's point. I mean, they're basically saying, and this is what a lot of churches say, your body is a temple of Christ. They don't want to see it dramatically altered. Focus, as Jedediah says, on what's in the inside and your spirituality and your relationship towards God, not the outer. However, free will, there's also something as free will, and maybe you just want to focus instead of use your free will on your fanny, and maybe you want a nice little back of your own church.
Oh, goodness
maybe you want, I don't know, butt implants in the back of the temple. I don't know. Free will. If it makes a woman feel better to better her church, let's say, let her do it.
Kids,
Is
if I
there
could pass that
parthenogenetic
along.
reproduction? I know lizards can do it. They can create. What do you make of this, General?
I don't know what to make of it. It's out of control. That's what it is.
Remember the man who had the baby, though?
Yeah.
On the cover of
from
People magazine?
From Oregon, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think this is really disrespectful, though, to human beings. Because what if you're an alien? Okay. What if it's artificial intelligence? What if you are a mammal or a reptile?
Wow.
What about that
You
then?
haven't been
The
represented.
blogs are going to write about this segment.
See?
I can hear it now.
I don't
This is just
understand though.
ridiculous. It's
Like
very disrespectful
if
to
they have,
aliens.
if they, I'm
In people's
confused.
Maybe there's
business,
something
they want to be in
neutral,
the
like-
business.
Insane.
A man? Was it
But,
both?
I mean, that should be what we're focused on, the life that's coming into the world.
Right.
It just sounds like they want to be in people's business. Like, how did you make this baby? How did you get
Everyone,
there?
That's absolutely right, Harris Faulkner. Everybody wants to be up in everyone else's business, and it's time to take a stand.
Time. I mean, for how long have we looked at sitcoms? Have we watched commercials where dads have been played as, you know, they're always looked at like the idiot who's like stumbling around the house, can't work.
Yep, the dad's relegated to the basement. The kid has all the answers. The wife knows everything. Even last year's Super Bowl, I remember there was a commercial. The dad couldn't figure out the Wi-Fi, and the kid had to come in and save the day.
Right.
You know what? I think they're looking at a lot of polling saying men are sick of it and they're fighting back. It is
Absolutely.
systemic. It's been happening for a long time. So I applaud the companies that look and they say, you know what? Men are feeling pretty discounted and pretty
And I think they're realizing, Harris, that women, you know, what
Does
has
it
been
send the
missing.
kids if all the shows they watch show
Right.
dads as
Exactly.
Well, the
super
goal
dorks.
is to keep them around.
About time. I mean, it's
Although
a
I
long time.
don't see this changing that much. I
Yeah.
think this was a blip.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe this will trickle over into the sitcoms if we have any luck, and we'll see some dads that aren't.
Oh, there she goes
stumbling
with the
and tripping over
Reaganomics
their own
again.
feet. I can't help myself.
Trickle down.
All right, we're going to stay right here on the couch for Outnumbered Overtime on the web, foxnews.com/outnumbered. Click on that Overtime tab because we can't wait to include you in our conversation. There's a live chat. Sign on it with your Facebook and Twitter pages and get in on the conversation. We're back here for the TV version of us tomorrow, noon Eastern, now happening now.